What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Stoked podcast. I am Geronimo Stokes, and my co-host is late as always, but he'll be here eventually. But welcome to a Stoked podcast. It's another Thursday. Hope you guys. I missed you guys last Thursday. We did the show on Wednesday. It was different doing it on Wednesday. But we'll who is that? Frank, how you doing, Frank? It was different doing it on Wednesday. I might do it again on Wednesday. It was nice. But I hope you guys enjoyed Black Panther. I hope you saw my review on Black Panther. I'm not going to get into Black Panther on the show. If you want to see how I feel about Black Panther, go watch go watch Top 5 Live after this show. I was hoping to have the announcement that it was going to be a Galaxy Con in Ohio, but it's not looking good, y'all. I'm holding out hope. I'm praying, but right now it's not looking good. But we're gonna get to our guest. We're gonna bring him in, and Jamari will eventually drop in on us. Our next guest is an insanely talented young man. He's a writer, musician, composer, and is currently working on has created his own card game. I want to be more effusive in my praise, but I want to get him on the show before Restream craps out again. So let's give a Stoked Podcast round of applause to David Gueringer.
What's up, y'all?
Did I say it right? Did I say it
you
right?
You got it. That was perfect.
All right. Yeah. We got some of your folks, your kinfolk. David's
what up,
homie.
Frank?
So I just got put on. Nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you too. Thank you for coming in, Frank. Hope you're a regular from here on out. And John must be brother, cousin.
That's
nephew.
my brother, co-creator, partner in crime. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of creators coming through, so I appreciate y'all.
John, I had to practice that last name. I got to be honest with you. I had to practice it. I had to make sure it was right. But thank you for coming on again. For those that don't know, the last time David was supposed to be on the show, Restream, literally the entire thing just went down. And but we did get to sit and talk, which was cool because we usually sit and talk on the show, but we got to sit and talk off the show. But thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Here.
Yes. I appreciate you. David reached out to me to be on the show, which makes me feel great because somebody actually wants to talk to me. Other times it's me begging people to come on.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I was looking for places to go to, sort of like maybe talk about what we're working on with other creators who are doing podcasts and things of that nature. But I don't like all of them. I'll just say that.
Okay, all right.
It's not even that they're bad. It's just some of them is like, nah. But I was checking out some of your shows and I was like, these guys seem really chill. They're also creators. They seem knowledgeable about the people they bring on. Sometimes people bring on and they're like, who are you? It's like you didn't look anything up about all the stuff that I sent. Some people will just be like clueless. So the fact that y'all are actually doing it, and y'all seem really professional. It seemed like cool people to meet. So I was happy to reach out. And thanks so much for bringing me.
Yeah. I know it took a while for this to happen.
Good things come to those who wait.
For the people who don't know, I try to book shows out far in advance, because for a second there, I was trying to do it like, who do I want on this week? And then I would find myself chasing it down. And then I was doing the marketing and it was just like, this is too much. So I was like, let me book it out for y'all. Excuse me. I just ate my dinner before I got on. So I'm trying to make it through all the vestiges of it. But I appreciate you bringing sound. Looks like you brought the crew. We got quite a few people watching.
Let's go.
All right. So you got Wi-Fi issues. Might have to be at. That's all right, man. You can always rewatch the show on YouTube. This is recorded and is posted for posterity, whatever. But it's on there. It's on YouTube. All of the episodes are on YouTube. So if you like this show, if you liked what the vibe, pretty much the vibe is for every show. This is a show where I give people opportunity to let the world know who they are, and also, tell about your projects. So all right. We got quite a few people. Welcome everybody.
I'm loving the love. What up, Deontay?
All new faces.
Next
So also, everybody, if you have questions that you want to ask, feel free to post them in the chat, and we will definitely address them. But you have so many like different talents that it was really difficult for me to figure out where to start with you, because I always try to start at like the root, or like your main talent, your main inspiration, your main drive. So I thought the best way to do it is, I know you want to talk about your card game. I know you want to do that, but we got to get to know we got to get to know you just a little bit. So you're a musician, right? You're a musician. You're a composer. You're a songwriter.
Oh yeah.
Tell me where your love of music came from.
My love of music, it initially was inspired most strongly by my mentor, Mr. Sun. Tazama Sun was my clarinet teacher. I first started learning when I was in 3rd grade. So there was a time where he couldn't come to the school, and he was like, "I want you to lead the band." And I was just like, I'm this 8-year-old shy, nerdy kid. No one listens to me. I don't really have any friends. But to have an adult that believed in me in that way, and then I did what they said, and it went well. Like, the next day, everyone was like, "Oh, you did so good. We heard your solo." And I was like, this is something that really felt empowering for me. And, as I continued to learn and make music, I started to see myself, as a leader, just as somebody who could help inspire other people, as somebody who did have talents and skills. And from there, it was life changing.
Now, were you only playing one instrument, or did you play multiple instruments?
I play piano and clarinet primarily.
Okay.
But, since I do music production now, you got all the instruments on the computer.
Now, you said this was in high school? Or
I first started playing in grammar school.
Grammar school.
Yeah.
So were you
grade
in like
is when I first started playing.
When you got to high school, were you in like your school band and everything?
Oh yeah. So it was funny. My first week of school, they put me in beginner band, and I was sitting there like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I know I'm not a beginner. So the next day, they put me in intermediate. They had me play for them. And the next day, they put me in advanced. So I was like, okay.
So you were in like the sitting band. You weren't in like the marching band.
Oh, I did all of that. Marching
band.
Oh,
you did marching band?
Drumline, concert band.
You did drumline?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you play?
Yeah. I play in drumline. I played that in college. I was playing the bass drum.
You're playing a what?
The bass drum.
The bass drum? Oh,
I wanted to get the biggest drum since I was the smallest person, just because,
Okay.
That's just
me. I played snare.
Nice. Hey, that takes some chops.
Time out. I played snare and bass and tenor. So
tenor, is that like the toms?
No. I didn't do the toms. It was just like the one. It's like one tom basically. It's a tenor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was in my band. I was in the sitting band. So I played set. And then I was in the marching band too, because they were almost the same thing.
Right.
Like pretty much everybody in one was in the other.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got Jamari coming in. Late.
Hey, what up, Jamari?
What's going on, sir?
You made it. Glad to hear.
Lane Tech.
Lane Tech, represent. Whatever you do, remember to honor a lane.
Do you know how to read like drum music?
I mean, I only played drumline in college for a couple years. But I mean, I know how to read music. So as far as I know, drum music is not different than reading other music, usually like lists of instruments and, the notations. So I think I can manage, but I don't want to say yeah for sure because that's not what I do.
No, I get you. So I remember I had to learn how to play. So for my church band, my church drum corps, you didn't have to know how to play. It was just like, can you do this? Okay, you did it, bet. Good. But for school, you had to learn it a little bit, but not for the set.
Right.
I wouldn't know how to read music for a set. I could. Okay, so this music kind of took a hold of you at an early age, and you kind of just rode with it, right?
Yeah. So played in a lot of different ensembles, like I said, from symphonies to concert bands to marching bands, jazz band, a lot of different kinds of music. I got a game called MTV Music Generator. It's on the PlayStation. It sort of lets you like make beats and stuff on it. So me and my brothers, you remember that? That's why I learned about Fabulous.
About Fabulous?
Yeah, that's one of the artists on there. They just had like a couple different songs like Snoop Dogg and Sean Paul, and you could remix them to make your own songs.
I've never heard of this game before.
MTV Music Generator.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was clutch.
Oh, wait, time out. I can see the cover in my head.
It's got the little blocks.
I didn't play it, but I can see the cover in my head. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we'd make songs on there, and then we take the audio cord from our PlayStation, the video cord from the GameCube, and then we play video games of the songs that we made. And we just felt like super geniuses as kids. We were like, who else is making their own soundtrack in games like this?
That's friggin' impressive.
I'm impressed. It just plugging two things in.
I mean, I'm impressed. I wouldn't even know where to start with that.
As most great ideas, it came from an accident. Unplugged one of the chords, and I was like, wait, the music's still playing. Well, what if we plug this video in? And it's like, oh, that works. Who would have known?
So what was your throughout? So clearly you've been playing from grammar. At this point, your grammar all the way up to college.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite song to play?
My favorite song to play was "Flight of the Bumblebee" on the clarinet.
Really?
Particularly,
I guess I can see that.
Yeah, particularly. No shade to Mr. O'Brien, but that was my band teacher. He's an awesome dude. I was preparing for my college recitals and stuff like that, and I was telling him, I was like, I'm gonna be playing "Flight of the Bumblebee" for my auditions. He was like, you can't play "Flight of the Bumblebee" on the clarinet. But it was so funny to me because I had already been practicing, and like I just started playing it in front of him. You ever had somebody tell you can't do something that you've been doing? It's amazing. It's like, oh, let me show you, and he was speechless. So that was right. It was very taxing. It was not an easy piece to play, but it was so rewarding to do something that most people felt like was not even the right instrument for this song.
Okay, that was your favorite song. Okay, all right, I'm gonna ask one more, and then I'm gonna let Jamari. Do you have a favorite musician?
A favorite musician? Honestly, one of my favorite musicians is my other mentor, James Perkins. He is undeniably one of the best woodwind players to grace this planet, and he will gladly show anyone who wants to question it. But that I met him, and I've never had someone just like put me in awe in such a short period of time. We talked for like 20 minutes, and he showed me some of the craziest music theory I'd ever seen without playing anything. It was like shapes and colors and stuff. And it wasn't years till I really understood it, but I was like, yeah, this is someone I need to be around. So there are a lot of just extremely talented people that others may not even have heard of. I mean, he's played with the Temptations and Lucy Liu. I mean, he has a prolific career. It's not like he's someone that's famous, so to speak.
Okay. So our family, we know about musicians. We got singers. My dad was a saxophonist.
Nice.
Played with like James Brown, He played with a bunch of people.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So my dad, and because of him, I tried to learn how to play the trumpet. Because I was like, I want to be like my dad, but I don't want to be exactly like my dad. So I was like, what's the closest thing in my mind? I was like, what's the closest to a saxophone that I could play? And I made it. It was a trumpet.
Yep.
And I think I tried the trumpet for like 6 months. And I was like, man, bump this. I'm going back to the drums. I was like, I'm going back to the drums. This is too much. This is too much. But go ahead, Jamari.
Well, my I guess my foray, my attempt was the saxophone in middle school. So I do remember putting in time and effort into that and feeling like I was absolutely terrible at it. But being that I've come in on this and the parts that I've come in on, so you sparked an idea. I wanted to know, is there any video game soundtracks from when you were a kid that kind of jumped out at you, just out of curiosity, since you talked about the whole MTV music generator and plugging in things to one system to another for music?
In terms of video game soundtracks, I mean, I don't know about the whole soundtrack, but Kingdom Hearts, hands down. Like growing up, I learned to play that on every instrument. Videos of me singing it, performing it in school and stuff like that. That was the first time I heard music in a video game, and it went with me outside of the game. Pokemon and stuff like that. Amazing music, amazing scores. But once you turn the game off, you're kind of done with it. But Kingdom Hearts, it was a different experience.
I understand why you say that, because it was music that was meant to live beyond the game. Just like you said, simple and clean.
Oh yeah.
I wish I knew what you guys were talking about.
Kingdom Hearts?
I know Kingdom Hearts. So here's the deal.
When
for the people,
you walk away,
Jamari just got off. Here's the deal. I understand what I know what Kingdom Hearts is. But if you watch people that a lot of you guys are new to the show. I used to be a big gamer. I used to really play like all the games and everything like that. But when I went to college, when I was in college, we were playing like Smash Brothers, and I'm dating myself here. It's okay.
Drop your friend codes in the comments.
Hold on. KH is my sanctuary.
Yeah,
we got a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans. It's all right.
For a certain age, Kingdom Hearts is a milestone game. So I get it.
I don't know why. Maybe I missed it, because like I said, we were playing Smash Brothers and No Mercy. Like No Mercy. No. Sorry, that was later on. Later on was Smash Brothers. Back my first tenure in college, we were all in the No Mercy and WrestleMania. What was it? What was the one? It was either before or after No Mercy.
You had WrestleMania 2000, and then
you
had
WrestleMania 2000. Yeah, those two games we were heavy into. But like after I got out of college, like it all, like I just didn't have the time, like so. And then when I made my way back, it was just like my friends just wanted to play like Madden. It was just like Madden all day, every day. And then it was
shout out the Sonic soundtrack.
Sonic. Okay.
Honorable mention. Sonic Adventure Battle 2, specifically.
Okay. All right. Well, so since we're on here, do you have any favorite games? Since you sound like a gamer.
I have a very interesting relationship with games. I used to be a huge gamer. I wanted nothing more but to be left alone and just play God of War all day. But I also have a vision impairment called retinitis pigmentosa. So over the years, like my retinas are slowly deteriorating. So it's harder to pick up light. And there are a lot of games that just aren't very friendly to, people with different sort of types of vision. A lot of them, it's like not really good contrast, or it's just really hard for me to see. So as much as I love video games, there's a lot of them that are kind of hard for me to play now. Super Smash Brothers is still at the top of my list. I love that. That's why I really love card games too. because they're usually a lot more friendly visually to you to like see what's going on.
It's interesting you mentioned that because that is accessibility has become a big thing in gaming in this new era where there are options for people who have impairments or anything that might people are able to change tones, contrast, and make games accessible through controller options, voice options, all kinds of things now. And it's like, how can we make this game more accessible to the most audiences possible? And that has become a big movement in gaming, I'd say, particularly in the last 8 years.
Yeah, I saw the craziest video on YouTube, so like a documentary about this blind Street Fighter player. This guy was getting top 32 in like major tournaments. It was crazy. But you know, he was working with them and was helping them figure out how they could make the game more accessible. So he was kind of like telling them how he was able to play and was trying to help them figure out ways that they could incorporate that. It's like Super Smash Brothers. I love the game. If they could just take out the backgrounds, like if I had an option to just make the background blank, it would be so much easier for me to play. I just can't see with all the colorful stuff. It's hard to tell where the characters are. That's why I just play on Omega stages. They just got a blank background, like the Donkey Kong.
Oh, they have those. They have a couple of
yeah.
blank ones now. Yeah, exactly.
But if I go to like a tournament and I tell someone, hey, I can't play on the other stages because I can't see, they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to pick it anyway because that's an advantage for me. But Super Smash Brothers, in terms of video games, long answer, short version, Super Smash Bros. My favorite video game of all time. No questions asked.
Okay. So we once again, I know you are one of the few guests I've had that has been like, this is what I want to talk about. Can we talk about this? And you're just like, I'm going to make sure. Most people are pretty laid back. They're just like, they want to come on. They're okay with whatever questions, but I want to make sure you get opportunity. But I'm going to open it up. Tell me about Next Arc Studios.
Absolutely. So Next Arc Studios is a company I founded with some of my friends a few years ago. So shout out to Deontay and John are in the chat. Devon and Imani are part of our team as well. We're all based in Chicago. And it sort of started with us just going to anime conventions together and just really being swept up in the magic. If y'all have ever been to it, if anybody watching has been to a convention, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't,
convention or anime convention, I was gonna ask, is there a difference?
Honestly,
I've never been to an anime. I've never been to a convention that's like
dedicated to anime.
So, yeah, I've never been. Actually, I might go this year because we have one in Connecticut, Connecticon. That's very, very anime.
Okay,
so I might check it out.
Okay,
I've
been to. What did you say, Jamari?
I am an old vet.
I've been to both, and I mean, honestly, it's really similar vibes. Like to just see people around you. I mean, the culture is sort of changing now, but it very much felt like, at least for me, growing up, here are these things that we like, but most people are like, "That's weird. You're a nerd for liking that. That's not cool." But then you go somewhere where no one is saying that, and even better, they're embracing it. It's like, what? You've seen every episode of Naruto? Let's talk about it for hours and run around like ninjas and have an anime rap battle. But I mean, you know, whatever it may be, it's that space where it was like, it was what you know, people made it felt like they were missing when they were in high school. Maybe they felt like they didn't have that friend group. They didn't have their clique like everyone else. The anime community felt like that. And I love that it's not something that's so much of a social taboo. Like, people aren't gonna throw stuff at you if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that anymore. It's like, it's just a game. It's just a show.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. I mean, we've actually been talking about this quite a bit over the last few weeks about, you know, the accessibility of quote unquote nerd culture and the, you know, that is kind of permeated just regular culture. Like, you know, you have so many I think a lot of it has to do with obviously, Marvel's impact being successful has kind of opened the doors for people to, peek out their nerd, things that they like, but also the fact that anime itself has the popularity across seas has kind of made its way here on a larger scale, right? Like, Jamari and I have had guests before where we talk about how they love these old, anime movies and TV shows and stuff, but we were all loving it in our own houses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we were all like, I like this thing, and you look to the left and the right, and nobody's looking back at you, like you said.
Without a, I was the university nerd.
I mean, I was a nerd too. I think we were all looked at that in that form, but anime and the fact that comic books have kind of risen, the video games becoming a valid form of entertainment, not just for kids but for adults, is probably
a valid media.
Is probably one of the biggest thing, because all these things kind of tie together, right? Like,
you know what I think really like shifted everything? When people started making money from being nerds and everyone started to see it. You'd have like YouTube channels. RDC World is one that comes to mind in particular.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they were some pioneers of like, you know what, forget it. We know as black people out there like anime, so we're just gonna do this, and we're gonna, keep it authentic, but also keep it nerdy.
Hold on one second, guys. Keep going.
Yeah, and it was great. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was agreeing. Obviously, money is going to drive something. When someone realizes they can make some money off of something, it's going to drive the accessibility of it, because it's going to give people access, and it's going to show to people that, oh wait, well, we can make money, so we should probably invest in this. But even more, I
apologize, y'all, when I hear babies crying like hysterically. I got to make sure nobody's dying. I got to make sure nobody's dying. But go ahead.
This comment right here: nerd culture, specifically anime culture, is melded with pop culture and probably a byproduct of the explosion of the internet. Absolutely.
I wouldn't even say the explosion of the internet. I would just say social media, because we are able to talk to people in an even more direct way than just the internet. Like before, I mean, the internet has been around for a while, and we were talking to each other in these little chat rooms off to the side in these little chat rooms in the beginning. But now it's like you pick up your phone and I can talk to like 5 different people. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more direct, and I don't have to go sit at a computer to talk to somebody. I don't have to go to my computer to tell the world I like something. I can watch a movie. I could watch a movie and just go, I like the movie I'm watching.
And that is, I would say the social media part definitely was a big part of the mainstream. I think the seeds of its birth and making it more accessible did come in those early stages and the beginnings of modern internet culture. We had you had old websites that connected people, and you had message boards from that early era. Then you come into the era of Toonami and Adult Swim, and they brought anime, the first versions of anime, to the mainstream, where people were like, oh wait, you know about this thing too? You watched Gundam? I remember being, and the states me, Dragon Ball Z's ascension on Adult Swim coincided with me being in college, and that's when people were like, wait a minute, I gotta see what happens when this next episode, who's gonna power up next, who's gonna fight. And that was that first time I saw people who didn't like anime started to talk about anime. So it's a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah, it's a little bit of all of that coming together. I'll just say it was a lot less parents that was saying, "Hey, these video games are a waste of your time." When people started winning money on Twitch, started bringing home these tournament checks. My younger brother, I mean, if anybody out there is familiar with Call of Duty, he was one of the early members of FaZe Clan, which is one of the biggest Call of Duty groups today. He was like paying the rent in our apartment and like buying crazy stuff because he was playing with them. He was on the game all the time. No one told him to get off because he was literally getting paid thousands of dollars.
I'm in the wrong generation. I would have been real. Like I can't even imagine. Like I have to kind of change my thought process when it comes to stuff like that, because I know like my stepdaughters have been like, oh, they want to do stuff on YouTube to make money, and I'm like, I mean, okay, but you gotta give me a little bit more than that. Like you gotta, because the people out there that are making money on YouTube are making money doing something very specific, and they have an incredible amount of people watching them. You know what I mean? Like they've built it. But before we get into all that, I want to stay on Next Start Studios. Yeah, let's circle back because I want to hear more about the formation of it. Sorry, we sidebarred, but that's all right. It happens. It happens.
Yeah, the conventions are what brought us all together. And, we realized that we were all creators. Some of us did art, some of us wrote stories, some of us did video editing or music. And we would just meet in my house once a week on Wednesday for about 2-3 years and just building projects. And over time, we decided, let's make this a studio. Let's start Next Arc because we want to be able to promote the next generation of stories. We want to help other creators who are making amazing content be able to be seen. So it's all about, at least for us, it's about being collaborative rather than competitive.
I mean, that's great that you could find like-minded individuals to work with you that share your same drive, because that's a really hard thing to do.
It ain't easy. You gotta talk to a lot of people.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people who thought I'd be building with who I'm not, and a lot of people who I didn't think I would be building with that have been invaluable. So you just keep it up and keep your mind open to this person ain't gonna be like the last person I met, whether that's a good or a bad thing.
So we gonna play something real quick that you gave us. This is the first time I'm doing this on here, so y'all gotta this is our first shared screen, so just bear with us, folks.
I see man, getting shout outs in the chat.
No, it's telling me that I gotta update permissions. So we're just gonna keep talking while I update my permissions.
So maybe you can explain that one to me. I do see the dad gang in the chat. So you got to explain that, sir.
I think that was when Devon was saying that you heard baby crying hysterically. You had to go check.
Oh, okay.
And my friend Sean's got twins. Woo. And Stefan, he just had his second kid. And yeah, so they were just like, I know how that is.
Yeah, I have twin stepdaughters. They just turned 18. So, I understand, and I got a 4-year-old son, so I'm all in the dad gang. I'm all in the dad gang.
Oh yeah,
it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. But and now, are you guys doing this full time, or are you still, part time?
It's a bit half and half. I was the first one on my team to take the leap, and I was like, I'm gonna do everything I can so the rest of y'all can join me as soon as possible.
So wait, do you have kids?
No.
Okay, that's how you got to take that leap.
That's how I did it. Yeah, I'm in a unique position, and I do not take it for granted. I always recommend people don't do what I do because it's not something that everyone can do. Fortunately, I'm the only person I'm responsible for. I mean, I have other people that care about me and that, I want to do good by, but, if I ain't got money, it's on me.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to eat as much tonight so I can save up for something else tomorrow,
you can make it happen.
I'm the person that's like, okay, I can deal with this. And there are a lot of creators that don't have that luxury. You can't just quit your job when you got 3 kids at home. You know what I mean?
No.
But for the people that can, you know, it's like you climb up, you throw that ladder down so other people can climb with you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm right there with you. I've always said, so when I was single and had no children, I didn't have the drive that I have now to do what I'm doing now. But if I had had the drive back then, I would have definitely taken a jump with you. Absolutely. I mean, but you know, I mean, I would probably say me being married and having kids probably push that drive forward more than anything else, because now I'm like, I gotta hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta hustle a little bit more.
By that same token, times when somebody is sort of like flying solo, and this could even be as like, you know, not necessarily having a family, creating by yourself, like it's all on you. So if it goes well or if it doesn't, you can just be like, well, it just affects me. But when it's not just you, if you work on a team, you got other people who are dependent on you to be successful, it's a whole different fire. It's like, nah, this has to work. And if it doesn't, I need to figure out how to make it work, because failure is not an option. I can't have other people struggling because I'm not doing enough.
Let's see, Stefan is a full-time artist.
Oh yeah, Kiba actually did the background art for our game.
So
painter.
I'm having a hard time getting it. So, and I apologize. I was really trying to share the screen. I'm gonna try it. Maybe if I do that. Oh, nope, can't do that. It won't tell me how to. Come on.
I'm seeing a share screen button on my screen.
You can try it.
Just give it a shot.
We'll give it a little bit. We're trying to get this. We're trying to show you guys some good stuff. All right.
Yeah. So what we're.
Hold on.
Is it sharing my screen?
There we go.
It is.
There we go. Now we're seeing all your business. How many tabs
Facebook
you got
page?
open, man? You got to close some of them tabs, man. There's too many tabs.
Oh, that's nothing compared to what I've seen.
Well, I was pretty good today.
Oh my gosh. There'll be people at my job. They'll have like 30 tabs open, and it gives me all kinds of anxiety.
One of my friends had over 100 tabs open one time we were on. I was like,
that's just excessive. You can't even see where all the tabs are. You can't even see. You can't even tell what the tabs say if you got that many.
Right, you just see a number.
You forgot.
So what are we looking at? What are we looking at right there, man? What are we looking at?
You've literally forgotten 40 tabs.
Right.
So
all right. So
this is the card game.
I'm gonna lower behind the card game. So just a little bit more before I play this. Yeah, we've been working on this for 3 years. There's a lot of people who were in the early beta testing in the chat, so appreciate y'all for being here for 3 years and, you know, all the way up to this point. But I would say as we were talking about music earlier, from a lot of the music experiences I had, the pandemic happened, resigned from my full-time job, and just started reaching out to creators offering to do musical fan art. You know, similar to your normal fan art, but with music. So like, yeah, this is a really cool comic that I like. I want to make some music that's inspired by the comic. And from there, I was able to network and meet a lot of people. I was able to get a lot of commissions from that over time. And through a lot of the creators that I met from that experience, we made this. So I'm really excited to be able to show it to y'all. And it was really cool to see how my music could connect me to people to be able to build something like this. Because I used to draw, but I'm not an artist. I really suck at coloring. So a lot of these things I would not have been able to do. And that's why I really believe in not competing. Because by being able to collaborate with others and saying, hey, here's something that you need that I can do, and here's something that I need that you can do. Let's exchange skills. It's a superpower. Creating is not cheap, but if you have value in what you do and other people value it, you can start making moves.
Okay. All right. So let's see it. Let's see it.
Without further ado, here's the move. Hopefully y'all hear the audio. If you can't hear it, let me know.
Nope. I think you got to unplug your headset.
Uh-oh.
I think you got to unplug your headset, and then we'll hear it through the speakers.
Oh, there's no way to share the audio directly.
Yeah. Yeah, just unplug your headset, and we'll be able to hear it.
Y'all are lucky because I have some really good speakers. This doesn't mess up the audio. Sound.
It's up.
Okay. I know I can't hear my voice, but no, this is not going to work.
My great-grandfather used to tell me stories about the era of war. Bloodthirsty warlords constantly fought over land and power. Our people had no choice but to hire samurai to protect the villages. However, their protection came at a cost. The samurai became ruthless, extorting villages for whatever they could take. 4 brave warriors took arms against the samurai. They were no match and captured. Now prisoners, the warriors were forced to work as ninja. Pushed to their utmost limits, their unwavering resolve led each ninja to encounter a unique spirit. These spirits revealed to them an internal energy in this chakra. By harnessing this energy, the ninja created powerful jutsu to defeat the samurai and finally restore peace to our land. That was a long time ago, and nowadays there's really no need for such deadly techniques. Instead, to honor Poe's ninja heritage, a sport emerged. Clans train in secret, developing new spectacular jutsu in preparation for a grand tournament. Jonkin Jutsu, that's where I'll compete. For honor, glory, and for my chance to leave my mark on ninja history. My great-grandfather used to
That was awesome, man. That's all right. I got you.
Y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We hear you.
Can.
Wow, that's great. All right, I'll plug my interface in so you can go through the speakers. But usually when I have it plugged in, it cuts my mic off.
Nope, we hear you. We hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yep. No need for headphones. No need for headphones unless you're just trying to,
Nah.
close yourself off from the world. That was awesome, man. How much, if any, like, did you do any research like at the actual like lore, or is this something totally made up from Jump Street?
Oh no, we always do research. Doing research when you're making a story, one, is easier because you don't have to just make stuff up. And two, it is just more engaging because not only is this something that's rooted in what actually happened, but you can start to infuse your creativity. So it feels a lot more realistic, but you can still have fantasy or whatever. But yeah, I really don't like stories where someone just like, yeah, I just made up a bunch of stuff and I thought it was cool.
Okay. And you did the music. What else did you do as a part of this whole project?
So just to shout out a couple creators. Big shout out to my friend Taylor, who's the voice actor in that clip. She did an amazing job, extremely talented. My friend Minez Salas, he did all the art from that video. He also did a lot of the jutsu art from our game. He made the board, the manual. He did so much. He is the GOAT. I would recommend him to anybody. But for me, I did the music, I did the sound effects, I did the video editing as well. Me and my brother John worked together creating a script for it and working on the lore. But pretty much everything we do is sort of like in-house with the other creators that we've been able to work with. Usually, a lot of times, business relationships become partnerships because you give out good energy, you attract good people, and when y'all help each other, it's just like, yeah, let's just do it.
So you all have been testing this, 3 years?
3 years. So when the pandemic started is when we first started developing the card game. It used to be a game that we played in person, so we didn't need cards or anything like that to play. And it was doing pretty well at conventions. I mean, we didn't have like a panel or anything like that, Well, we'd go to the lobbies, we start playing, and people would turn their heads and say, "What's going on?" Ask to play. So there's a bunch of videos on YouTube of us playing the live action version with people. But the pandemic hit, and we were trying to figure out how we could keep the dream going if we couldn't meet in person. So after a lot of failed ideas, the card game is what was sort of born from that. So initially, it was just like a bunch of pictures of me dressed up as Naruto. And my brother made some graphic designs, and like my friends here, Sean, Kiba. I'm not sure who else is here, but we had maybe like 15 or 20 people who were helping us with like the early beta test. And I mean, we played for probably 3 months. We didn't have anything else to do. It was a pandemic. They sent us home. They gave us some money. So that we had a product. We had the core idea, and it just came more of a part of getting final artwork. So my friend Jail Draco helped us with some of the base action art early on. My friend Jordan Miller, he helped with graphic design and iconography. So there was a lot of hands that went into building this and making it a great game. And I actually sent you a link. If y'all want, I kind of would love to show y'all how to play. It's really quick. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that, I promise.
Well, I can't share my screen though. Or how do we do it?
That's true. I can share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay.
So this is a first. We actually gonna try out somebody's project right here for first time. That's all right.
There's a lot of firsts today.
Let's do it. A lot of firsts. That's all right. We are here. We are here to break new ground. So should I take your screen off? I'm gonna take your screen off. Go ahead, do your thing. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I sent you the link to the tabletop that we're gonna be using. If you can send that to Jamari as well.
It the playing cards thing?
You got it.
Okay. All right. Y'all need bear with us, everybody. We gonna give it a shot.
This is actually cool because y'all can play each other.
All right, here we go. Playing cards. So do I hit enter?
Yes.
All right.
Here we go.
I gotta try and.
Oh, I'm still sharing my screen this whole time.
Yeah. Hold on.
Good thing I didn't pull up anything weird.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Nobody sees it. You tell me when you want me to put it up, and I'll put it up.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. So everybody, we gonna try and play. All right. So
let's learn to play some John Kenjutsu. John
Kenjutsu. How to play. Start. All right. Go ahead. This is your game. You tell us.
Yeah, I can direct y'all through it unless you prefer to read. Nothing wrong with that. But John Kenjutsu, it's ninja rock paper scissors. Comes from the name John Kenpo. Rock paper scissors in Japanese. And it's a very simple game. The object is to attack the other person while they're charging. For the charge.
Am I supposed to do this?
You don't have to do anything yet.
All right. Start with the 4 action cards in hand. All right.
In these counters. All right, cool. So this is what you're looking for. You're looking to play an attack while the other person is charging. So to start, there's a white rectangle at the bottom. If you guys grab these 4 cards and just drag it into that white rectangle, you'll be ready to start.
All right. Is everybody seeing what we're doing? All right. So if I do like this, does it matter which deck I can pull it from?
Yeah, you want to make sure you're only pulling from 1. So if you pull the player 2
Oh,
card,
we lost you, Jamari. Did we lose you?
No, I'm right here.
Why does it says disconnected?
Oh, that you can ignore that. I don't know why it says that. This site is great, by the way. If anybody is thinking about making a card game, I'd highly recommend it because there's a lot of things that you need to test.
So do you still have physical cards? Are you still selling the physical game?
Are we? Oh yeah, we're gonna start our first crowd sale next week.
Okay. All right. So
where are you guys? Where are you headquarters out of?
Chicago,
right?
Chicago.
Yep.
Okay.
Shy City. Hey, you say Shy City. All right. So
I was hoping to put you in front of some kids.
So we got the 4 cards, right?
Each person has 4 cards: attack, guard, charge, secret technique.
Yep.
So you can't play the secret technique yet, but you can pick any of those other 3 cards and just put it face down here. It'll automatically flip face down.
All right. So I put my card down.
Hands up. Jamari,
Waiting
still
for
be
you,
careful. The
Jamari.
cards are up. When you start, both players are at 1 chakra. Once they're both set, tap the flip. Ooh, and a brave charge from Javon. So you see each card has a chakra value associated with it. Charging is +1. So we're going to add 1 to your chakra. You go to 2. Garden doesn't cost anything, but blocks attacks. He didn't attack.
Okay.
Stay at 0.
All
And you
right.
pull the cards back, and we're going to do another round.
All right.
I'll let you know now because worth mentioning. If you get to 3 chakra, you're just 1 more away. You can play the secret technique, that red card, and that's a guaranteed hit.
Okay.
So that's unblockable attack. Swing and only you guard it again. Double swing. So both players attack, nothing happens, but you both lose 1 chakra. So that's gonna send Jamari to 0, Javon back to 1.
All right.
Remember, if you have no chakra, you can't attack. So Jamari, the only thing you can do is guard or charge. Choose carefully. All right, the battle of the brothers. Oh, and the bluff. He goes for the charge. There's the guard.
All right.
And no attack. It's going to send you to 2. 1 more away from your max.
So does it have when you play this game, the point it's going to do it automatically?
No, I'm
what you're doing. That's what I'm saying. No. I know you're controlling it, but the goal is for it to eventually be doing it.
And we have an app. Yeah, when we have an app.
Oh, okay.
There'll be a lot of functionality like that. Oh my God. that guard came out of nowhere, but was right on time. Blocking the attack. Sending Javon back to 0.
I got 1. I should have 1. No.
Or sorry, I meant sending Jamari. I'm just talking now.
That's all right.
Got caught up.
We're gonna get 2 more rounds, and then we're gonna get back to it. All right, ready?
Charging up.
Okay. All right. All right, last round.
Guard, come on. Somebody's got to get a hit.
All right.
Or one of y'all forfeit.
We'll do one more.
One of y'all can forfeit, and then we can stop. Who wants to quit? Got him. The come from behind victory.
There you go.
I'll be honest. You had that game, Javon.
That's all right.
You charged.
I know. That's all I did was attacking the charge. that was good. That's a good game, man. That's a good game. And you said you're gonna have physical copies of it coming out soon, right?
Yeah, so we're doing our crowd sale next week. This is our first one, so there's still a lot of things that we're learning. Still some things we need to get together. But we're really excited. We're having a pre-launch event on Saturday. So if there are other people who are watching, you're like, that looked fun, I want to try playing this. We're gonna have a really cool event. It's gonna be some cool prizes. People that come will get free music from the card game. We're also planning a team event where we're gonna have a team jutsu made for some people that show up as well. But we really like engaging with the community. This isn't a trading card game, so like I said, it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon where you gotta like go to the store and buy hundreds of cards to get what you want. We really focus more on engaging with people and just having a good time playing. So we wanted to make something that was simple, easy to pick up. And I mean, this is just the base version of the game. There's a more complex version that has jutsu for people that, like strategy card games. But we wanted something that was, good for people of all ages, was a low barrier to start playing, and can just have fun when you go to conventions. So it's really exciting to finally be able to launch in this campaign, and want to see what we can do.
Did you guys do like a Kickstarter or GoFundMe at any point during this, or
never? Not once. Wow. It came out of my pockets and out of my talents.
Oof.
But
that's admirable.
It is.
When you got skills that other people value, like I said, the base actions, it was awesome to be able to work with my friend Jail. And it's like, I can make you all some music, you can make these for me, and we both win. So that's just been one of the ways that I've been able to like connect and build with people. You know, like indie creating is hard, and if you really want to pay artists fairly, it's not cheap. And I'm very committed to that. So I've spent plenty of money building the game. I've definitely paid people. But if someone is like, yeah, I need this thing, and my services cost money too. If you're paying $300 a minute for my music, and your art costs $300 a piece, why not just exchange it? If it's actually good, you have some people that's like, I'll make something for you, and you're like, nah, I'm good. The thing you made for me, I can't use, so this is not a fair trade.
I feel you. But yeah, that was awesome. That was the first what testing or game test we've ever done on this show. So
that was definitely different. That's something different. We've not done.
Popped our cherries on that one.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. So I want to get back a little bit because we're obviously, as I told you, the big part of the show is for people to get to know you.
Right.
I'm gonna. What are your other favorite card games?
Yu-Gi-Oh was a big, card game for me growing up. That was all I wanted to do, all I spent my money on. I mean, it was pretty cool. You get better at math skills from doing it. You get better at arguing and debating because playing Yu-Gi-Oh is like being a part-time lawyer. There's so many rules.
How many times did you get to say you just activated my trap card?
No, that's just like the meme stuff. Like the actual thick of Yu-Gi-Oh is ridiculous.
The strategy aspect is actually amazing. Watching my brother, he was the one who played Yu-Gi-Oh! Heavy Duty, and watching him bait people, and it was actually kind of amazing to see how the strategy aspect of that game and how that worked with the time when he was playing it.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think something that I really liked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Too is it's sort of like an economy behind the card game. So you can buy packs, you play people for cards, you trade around. And honestly, that's how I would get most of my money in high school. Some of my friends here can attest to that too. I know Kiba. I don't think Deuce is here, but we was hustling cards. They taught me the game. My parents were like, you selling drugs or something? I was like, no, I'm selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But it was awesome. So definitely a passion there. I love plenty of like just playing card games, spades. Shout out to the spades.
Are you good at spades?
Am I good? You want to find out? We can play. We don't got to talk about it. I can set up a board playing cards IO.
I might have to take you up on that. I don't play, man. Like I never did Yu-Gi-Oh or any of that. I don't know. I must have missed me at some point. Like I was never into it. But spades, I'm a spades player for real. Like I'm a trash talker though. I'm a trash talker.
I'm a card shark. I used to do Magic for years too. So people didn't like playing cards with me because they're like, I don't know if you cheating. I don't know if you're like shuffling the deck.
You're like counting the cards though?
Oh, big time. Yeah, I don't just like play. I'm in it. I become spades.
Yeah, I mean I'm pretty good at like okay, if I put this down and when people play, I'm like, okay, I know what everybody's got for the most part. Like I'm pretty good at like remembering that. Like I can't count to the level that you probably can, but if I drop a jack of hearts, right? If I drop a jack and then everybody drops like something else, so I'm like, okay, I know what everybody else has. I'm good. Mm-hmm. Like I don't play around. Like I get annoyed with people who don't know how to play spades.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we've all been there. We've all had that one person on our team was like, how did we lose this game? You had 8 spades.
Jamari said he doesn't know how to play.
No, I can play. I can't play the way that you guys probably play.
See, I would never want you as my partner.
and that's
I'm
fine.
just being, and I don't
absolutely
mean that
fine.
in a bad
Because-
way. It's just
Because
like,
and that's just it.
when
Like,
I play, I
did
don't
not
have time to like. I don't have time to explain how
and
to
that's
play
and that's
spades.
precisely why I've never been. It took me so long to even learn the game because spades is a game that nobody teaches. So everybody's like, you don't know how to
That's
play
not true.
spades, and they look at you like you're crazy, and you just fade into the background like Homer into the bushes.
So this is what I always tell people who want to learn how to play spades. Sit next to somebody who's playing spades and just watch them. And then when the hand is over, ask questions. Like when you finish like a round, just be like, whisper to them, da, 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 and then ask questions that way. Like that's how I learned. Like I sat next to somebody and I was like, okay, so why did you put that out when you had that? And they'll be like, well, if I did that, then I would do that.
Nah, trial by fire.
First and foremost, my introduction to spades, was college, and then I would see people who I was convinced in the student union they never actually went to class. They majored in spades, and their classroom was the student union. So I'd see those people, and just seeing the amount of like the sheer dedication was already intimidating. So it's like, no. And
I learned in college, just like I learned in college.
But and that's the thing, I never learned in college. That was just my exposure to it.
No, I mean my
And then when I
exposure
found
to it was I'm a 7-day Adventist. That's all we do. And when we go, we play spades. Like, like they and I never played it with them. Like I would just kind of like watch, but I never like cared to learn how to play. And then I was in college, and one night, like I was around a bunch of people who were playing spades, and I was like, let me figure out how to play this game. And once I figured it out, it was like, okay, bet. Like I got it. Like it wasn't something where I like needed a lot of practice. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like I was just like, okay, I get it.
I'm definitely the type when it comes to
Wait, what'd you say?
I was saying it's not that complex of the game in terms of the rules.
Yeah.
I think it's more of the psychology, because it's more like you're only gonna get what you get, and if you want to win more books than you normally would, you kind of gotta trick people, and that is hard to do when you're not really talking, you're just playing cards. Like, how can I?
And then you can't talk across the table either. So
right.
And I guess that was the whole thing for me was I feel like spades is a game you really do have to have a good sync with whoever you're playing with, and so
not even that. It's memory. It's just memory, dude.
No, I think Jamar.
I learned so much later.
But the sync happens because of memory, though. Like
you play with a teammate, it's different.
No. I get what you're saying. That you need to, like, you kind of have to understand everybody. Like, But for me, it's memory. So like if I'm playing, David, if I'm playing with you, and I drop a ace, if I drop like an ace of diamonds or whatever, I'm just ace of diamonds, and then you drop like a heart because I won the hand, I'm like, bet I know my partner's going to be cutting. Right. So I would then drop like another diamond,
right,
and then I know we get in these hands. But the vibe is understanding that person is knowing that you saw that.
Yep.
And it's just paying attention. Like, okay, you saw me put this out, because some people don't pay attention.
Oh yeah. My friend Nolan was my main spades teammate back in the day, and we played so much together that you could kind of get an idea of what cards I had just seeing what cards I put down. It's like something that I like to do. I'll just share a strategy with y'all. I call it the low ball. Let's say somebody starts with a 10. Anything 10 or below is usually fine. If they start with a 10, usually the next person is going to come, and if they can beat it, they beat it. But a lot of times you don't have to, because if they start with a low card and you play something even lower, it can trick their partner into thinking that, oh, my teammate already won, so I don't need to play a big card, or I don't know how big I should go because they're already winning. So what happens is they don't play anything high, and then my teammate wins with something they ain't got no business winning with. Or they end up overcutting their partner, and their partner gets mad at them. So they're like, what'd you do that for? I was already winning.
Nah, not the people I play with. You play low, you gonna be in trouble. You gonna lose that hand. They were like, "Oh, you put a 10, take this king." It's a risk.
But I've had it pay off.
And that again, that comes with different types of strategy, and that, and also I would know your partner.
I would probably.
But my partner would know that if I played someone else, they would get mad at me. So they were like, "Why'd you play at a low card? We're trying to win." It's like, you don't get how I'm playing. Or I'll see them like play a high card to beat it instead of low ball, and I was like, you could have low balled, and I would have won.
I would, man. If you better never low ball with me. I was just like, I'm
gonna do it, and you know,
don't do it
right away. That's the and there you go, right
don't
there.
Do it. Behind you. I don't care. I'm taking that hand. I'm taking that hand. So,
which is why it is such a unique situation to get into when you're trying to play and you want to learn. So you have people that are so cutthroat. There's like, you should have known that already. I've only played 2 hands in my whole life.
Real talk. Again, this is what I tell you.
Other people so intense. I try to break up their team and make them start playing bad.
This is all I tell you about spades. Pay attention. Don't renege. You'll be all right.
Renege, yeah, that's easy. And that again that's true.
A lot of people do it. A lot of people do it, and I just did it this past weekend, and I think I was paying attention to my son, and so I wasn't like.
I know you're talking about being the best spades player.
No, I was paying attention to my son. It was literally, you know what it was? I'll tell you what happened. No. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
All right.
My partner had like 2 big jokers. He had like a big joker and what do you call it? Deuce of diamond, deuce of spade. He had deuce of diamond. He had a big joker, so he had the last 2 books. And so he put the spade. So he basically put 2 cards down and was like, I got it. And so everybody just kind of put their cards down because nobody could beat them. But in a sense, would give me a renege because if I don't know which comes first.
Right.
So I didn't necessarily renege, but like the way it came out, I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, yeah, if I was sitting at that table, I would be like, y'all are cheating. Like, no,
yeah,
we gotta play it out to the end.
You gotta play it out to the end.
I need to make sure you didn't renege.
Exactly. And like at the time when I did it, I was like, because like I said, we all put our hands down because we knew he had the last 2 books.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we put it down. I turned to look at my son and I said something to my son, and I came back and I was like, wait a minute. Wait, which came first? Like, so it was like my brain disconnected for a second. Okay. And I forgot that we all dropped all our cards. And I was like, wait a minute, did I renege? And then like they started talking about it. And then I had to go deal with my son.
So that was really just people, it's
like sloppy play. That don't sound like a renege.
Yeah.
But it felt like a renege to me because I forgot for that half second that, you know what I mean? Like I forgot what happened. I mean, spades, like I said, spades, I've told this story all the time. This is my spade story.
I know what story this is.
This is way back before I knew how to play spades. I was in high school. It was my 18th. Was it my 18th birthday party? I think it was my 18th.
This is what I thought it was. Go ahead.
No, not that one. But I was at my 18th birthday party, and it was like this. My mom rented out this hall. And it was like a big dance floor. And then it was also like a separate section where they had tables. So in the back, they were playing different games. Like it was a bunch of people. So they were playing games. And there was a table, they playing spades. So I was dating a young lady. I'm not going to say her name. I want to put her out there like that. At the time, I was dating a young lady, and she came over, and I introduced her to my boy. I'm not going to say which boy it is. He knows who it is. And I introduced him to him. He was playing spades. And she was like, oh, I know how to play spades. Can I play? And I looked at her like, I don't think you want to do this. And he looked at me like, I don't think you want to do this. And so I was like, all right, go ahead. So he sat down and partnered up with my friend. Now we had music playing, so it was loud.
Mhm.
I want to say maybe like 10 minutes later, 10, 12 minutes later, I hear him yelling at her. What are you doing? What are you doing? I can't believe you. Like he's yelling at her.
Are they playing for money?
No. That's
Man,
how serious it was.
You need to chill,
And so,
that's never that serious.
and so I went over like, what's going on? And she's like, I messed up. Like, I'm sorry. And he's just like, yo, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I was like, come on, baby. Let's go somewhere else. That's how intense that my peoples get with spades.
Yeah, that's a little bit egregious.
That was a long time ago. We're a lot mellower now.
You gonna yell at this girl you just met?
We're a lot mellower now. We're a lot more mellow now. But at the time,
hey, if I was playing for money, I would 100% get it. It's like, no, this isn't.
Hey, I've cursed out people for that.
I've never. And spades is such an interesting game because it brings out levels of competitiveness and pettiness in people that probably normally wouldn't be there. It's like you get this massive joy out of destroying a person that you absolutely know is no good, and or you and another person may not speak for decades because one person reneged one time in a card game 20 years ago.
No, I won't do that. I just won't partner with you no more.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, of course, but
no, I know, but like I literally, there are people who I'm like, no, I'm not gonna partner with you.
I mean, all in all, spades is the easy version of a lot of other card games. Like hearts is essentially spades with hearts. Bid whisk is spades, but anything could be a spade. So
is it? Is that what bid whisk is?
Yeah, you choose the trump suit, but it plays exactly the same as spades. You bid
really
the way you do, but you just choose the trump. There's a kitty for whoever wins. I mean, there's some differences, but again, all of those games are like the hard version of spades. So they take what spades does and they add other things onto it.
Okay, I got one more card game question, and then we're gonna talk about your music.
Okay.
What's your Uno house rules?
Uno house rule? Oh, we play by the printed rules in the box.
Really?
No stacks, no triples, doubles, no ups and downs, none of that crazy stuff. Wow. Not how you're supposed to play.
Yeah, I'll see.
That is not fun at all, sir.
No,
that is boring. That is boring. I'm gonna need your black card right now. Turn it in.
Hey,
turn it in. I agree with it.
You can see, I know the rules. I just don't like them. Yeah, I've seen some degenerate games come out of it.
Dude, I can't play regular Uno, man.
Like, yeah, we're gonna ignore your rules and play it.
I can't play regular Uno, man. That seems boring, dude. I feel like we'll be there forever.
Nah, that's too much. It's like you want to sit there and throw down a whole hand worth of cards because of some weird. No. Play the game.
I'm with your brother, man. I'm with your brother. I play petty Uno. Draw 2, colors red. Draw 2. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah, they're big fans of petty Unos. I'm pretty sure
I'm a petty Uno.
I love that black people have gone after the Uno Twitter account talking about y'all don't know how to play Uno.
They don't know how to
play the game.
They don't know how to play Uno. They don't know how to play Uno. They don't know how to play Uno. I don't understand how you can play without stacks and everything like that. That just seems dry. That's like unseasoned chicken. Like, that's basically what it is. You asking, that's unseasoned chicken. All right, like I like seasoning on my chicken. That's fun. But I'm all right. So you sent me a ton of tracks, and I actually listened to quite a few of them.
Thank you.
Do you sell these tracks for anything other than like video games, or do you like sell them to like people who rappers, singers, any of that?
I primarily compose for comic books, video games, and animations. I've done a couple of things with music artists, but not a ton. It's really been nice working in sort of like the art space with like comics and things of that nature, because there definitely is a need for audio, but there isn't a oversaturation like it is in the music space. So you go to a music group and you're like, hey, I make beats. Who doesn't?
It's a good point.
You know what I mean? But you go in a comic group and you make good beats, and they're like, most people who made a comic book probably want it to be adapted into another form, whether that be a TV show, an animation, a video game, whatever it is going to need audio. So if I can be the person to come in early and say, hey, let's get that ball rolling. Let's start making some music for it. Let's start getting some audio. So I work with about 25 voice actors who are all amazingly talented. But to be able to bring those into projects, I think it really helps other creators start to see their vision in the way that they, imagine it to ultimately be. But it's also just not a ton of people who are like, I mean, yeah, there are people that also make music in the comic space and things of that nature. But I'm pretty good. So there are other people that are also extremely talented, but I think I still have value even standing next to them.
Now, you did the sound effects too for your stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I might have to holler at you, man. I got something that I'm trying to work on next year, man. I can do the sound and stuff, but I don't really want to. I'm perfectly honest with you.
Yeah,
I really
I
don't want to.
Whole setup. We
Okay.
dropped about 10K on music equipment. So high quality
Wow.
microphones, speakers.
What program are you using?
I use Logic Pro.
Logic Pro? Okay.
Yeah.
You don't use why did I forget the name of the program?
Pro
It's
Tools.
on Pro Tools. Not Pro. No. It's on what do you use for the editing though? For your stuff? For the yeah.
I use CapCut.
CapCut. Really?
Shout out
What is
to
that?
CapCut. It's an app. I do
okay.
all the video edited on the phone.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
And my phone is really accessible. It's easy to see. It's close to my face. And honestly, I mean, I've been doing video editing for about 4 or 5 years. It has everything that I found in most of the video editing programs. Right. So the fact that I can just do that from my phone wherever I'm at, it's just been super convenient. And there's no in-app purchases. Everything in there is free.
Okay. Yeah, I'm over here using an old version of my Premiere, Adobe Premiere.
I mean, I've used Final Cut.
Final Cut. That's what I'm thinking.
Final Cut. It's a cool program, but there's nothing that I miss. I haven't been using CapCut, and it's like, man, I wish I had Final Cut so I could do this.
Damn.
I mean,
it works for you. It works.
Keyframing, animation effects, transitions. I've had plenty of people buy promo videos from me, and I'm just making them on my phone from a free app. I mean, it's more so from the skill, but it's not something. The barriers are non-existent. You just need a phone.
Awesome, man. That's amazing. Like I can't the stuff we could do with our phone now is. I'm sounding real old, but the stuff we could do with our phone now is just amazing compared to, what I'm accustomed to doing, like needing the whole big, excuse my language, big ass desktop with a bunch of power. I bought this whole damn desktop. I ain't using my desktop. My desktop is literally sitting next to me collecting dust. The tower for it is sitting collecting dust.
And like the another big thing when you're editing videos on your computer, one, they take up a ton of space. And two, if you delete any of the source files, it's gonna corrupt your video. So let's say you
forget delete. If you just move them to a different file.
Yeah, just put them in different folders. It's like we don't know where it is. But because of that, you might work on a video and then months down the road you've deleted that stuff because you thought you didn't need it anymore and you want to go change it, and now it's corrupted. That doesn't happen in CapCut. I don't know how they do it, but they just save everything in there. So I can delete things off my phone once I'm finished editing, and I can still go back and edit it within the app. I mean, I got pretty good space on my phone, so I don't have to worry about taking up space on my computer.
It's probably because they hold a copy. They probably make a copy of it. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It makes a copy of it as opposed to like pulling directly from the source file, which is what like Adobe Premiere does. Like Premiere and After Effects, they pull directly from it. So it's always searching back for where it came from, which is annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is amazing. So we got
Joel.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. So we got about 10 minutes left in the show. At the end of every show, and we like to do a thing and to homage whatever. My other podcast, Top 5 Live. We do a list. Each of us will do our top 5 lists. So the topic, which I'm still trying to figure out in my head, but I'm going to go with top 5 favorite games to play, non-video games.
Non-video games.
Not video games. Top 5 games to play. It could be any game, just can't be a video game.
Okay.
No particular order.
Man, that's hard.
No sports either. Not a sport, like a game.
Right. And well, since I'm here, I might as well throw a shout out to someone.
You ready to go first?
I maybe.
All right, take a minute. Go ahead, do your shout out.
But there's a lot of other indie game developers who got some really awesome games. So I would highly recommend checking them out. Homie Vince White with Crossplay. That's a super dope game. It's kind of like Uno. But it, a little bit of Uno, a little bit of D&D, roll some dice. But it's really fun and easy to pick up.
Okay.
Shout out to D Spirits. It's another really awesome card game. They had a crazy campaign last year. They raised over $300,000. I actually helped compose a theme song for it, which is being sung by Jason Page, who is the original Pokemon theme song singer. And he's saying "Gotta Catch 'Em." Nice. So that was it's crazy, but another really fun game. My friend Nick, he has a game called Personal Vendetta. It's another card game. It's about it's this person, and they're like these two consciousness, like these clones that are fighting over control of the person's body. So it's sort of like this mental battle that they're having with each other. So they're like these cards in the middle, and you're pulling them out and trying to beat the other person in either their health or their mental energy. So one of y'all takes over the actual body. So it has a pretty cool story behind it too. But it was really fun. Another really easy game to play too.
All right. What's your 5, man?
Those are 3 of them. So these Spirits, Personal Vendetta, Crossplay. Check those out. Another game I really like is called We Didn't Play Test This. One of the best card games I've ever played, and it lives up to its name. There's really no way to describe it. You just gotta pick it up. It's like playing a meme. Literally don't have to read any instructions. Every card you pick up tell you exactly how the game works, but it is so much fun. And the last one, I haven't played it that much. I played it once and it was so much fun. It's called Super Fight. Y'all heard of it?
Yes.
You know that one?
Oh yes.
Super Fight. Yes. I don't know why that game costs $40 because it's just a bunch of cards with no art on them. But I'm not going to judge them. It was so much fun. You like pull cards, and those cards, it sort of like give you powers, and then there's a debuff, and you're just debating with the other person you're playing against on who would win in a super fight, and then everyone else has to vote on who they think win that fight. and it just kind of goes on. So it's sort of like this superhero spin to card against humanity.
Yeah, without the toxicity.
Yep, none of the none of the problematic statements, but all the fun.
Okay.
So those are my
All right.
5.
Morgan.
Who?
I'm sorry. I read something.
Oh, okay.
I was reading something. My bad.
No
Jamar.
problem. I know. I'm just laughing. So you named one of mine. I absolutely love Super Fight.
Let's go.
All right.
What I love
that's
about
one.
Super Fight that is a
No, I said that's one.
Super Fight is officially the game of my the anime club that I run. And we have about 4 sets, including the anime set, along with the expansions. So that game gets played constantly, and no table plays it exactly the same. But it's always fun. I really enjoy One Night Werewolf. I don't know if you've ever seen those games. They are One Night is it is an interactive game where you have to. Everyone is essentially trying to guess who the werewolf is, and everybody has a particular task. So whatever your card is, your card has a particular task in the group. For example, villagers essentially do nothing, but they're also people who are they work for werewolves, so they know who the werewolves are, and they can actively work against the villagers. And you're trying to guess everybody.
That's the second one you named. This I haven't played that version of it, but I know it's
basically Among Us.
The
cultural shorthand is Among Us right now.
Yep, there's a lot of sort of those social deduction games, but I know exactly what you mean. A lot of them have sort of different themes, but they play basically the same.
Exactly.
Okay.
I am one of those weird people that I love playing Monopoly. I love seeing it through. I love breaking people's souls at Monopoly. Dungeons and Dragons. I am way too deep into 5th edition. I own way too many dice. I don't play as much as I probably want to, and it's probably a good thing, but I play enough that I can enjoy it and trying to dip my toe into DMing. So whatever, what am I at? 4?
All right. I think that's 4.
Gotta make a choice. I'm gonna go with Battleship.
Battleship, like the classic.
Classic Battleship. I have always loved old classic Battleship. I've enjoyed that for years now because it's so easy to play, pick up and go, and I just love being able to call something out and figuring out where somebody had everything going. So as a kid, I always loved it.
Okay. That's 5? Is that 5?
Yep. See, somebody called out King of Tokyo, which is another great game to play.
All right, so my list is boring compared to y'all's, but that's okay. It's boring. Monopoly. I like Monopoly. I don't meet a lot of people who like to play it, but I will legit play to the end of the game. Until everybody broke or people tap out. I will play to the end, which is why I don't get to play it often. We tried playing it with my stepdaughters, and they were like, "Do we have to keep playing?" They're like, "Oh no, I'm broke. Can I leave now?" But no. So I like Uno, of course. I'm a big Uno dude. The real rules, not the real rules. Spades, of course. We just talked about spades. I'm a huge Taboo fan, man. I like Taboo. I'm really good at it, which is probably why I like it. And I'm gonna go with categories. I will play. I love a good game of categories.
How does that game work? I've heard of
I
it.
believe
It's been
categories
years.
is the
I used to
one where
play
you
it.
have like you roll a dice full of letters, and then you come up with a letter, and then you have like little pieces of paper, and then you have to come up with like, oh, you have like a topic, so it'll be like car name or such and such, and you have to come up with a car name that has the same letter as the dice.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I believe that's categories. I believe it is. But yeah, so those are my 5. I've never heard of globalization. I'll check it out. That's assuming that I have time to play a game. Y'all know I'm
like Monopoly, but macroeconomic version.
Is that what it is?
Foods, buying countries. That's what it sounds like. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, maybe.
I've
Like
always
something else I need to spend hours doing instead of working. Right.
I'm curious about Settlers of Catan just to know what it's like. I want to try it just once.
I've heard a lot of really good things. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out the game Coup. That is such a good game.
Okay.
I'm kind of mad I didn't put Risk on my list. I should have put Risk on mine because as a kid, I really did like Risk.
All right, so we ain't gonna hold you because clearly you're a busy man. You know, you be over here being CEO and everything. I'm just assuming. I don't even know. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I did enjoy this. This is being our second time talking. But we'll definitely have you on. If you got another project coming up, just hit me up and I'll get you on whenever I can. You wanna promote anything real quick before we go?
Well, like I said, y'all know we got our campaign next week. So we got our pre-launch event on Saturday. Go to Facebook, just type in John Kenjutsu pre-launch. You'll see the event. It's public, so you can invite anybody. It's really easy game, so people of a lot of different ages can try it out. But most importantly, I want to give a shout out to all of my friends and family that showed up because y'all are amazing. You know, there's some people that may not be here to the end, but that is it's just amazing to have a group of people who are like, yeah, we want to show up for you. And we're all part of this. This is something that we all made together in one way or another. So let's keep doing it. Next arc starts here.
Awesome. Yes, thank you for everybody who dropped in. Thank you for everybody who's watching after. We appreciate all of you. Just letting you know, next week we aren't going to have a official show, but we might do something special. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to happen, but you might see something special. I can't say it. But after that, we have the one and only Malachi Bailey, co-creator of Her.
Nice.
Yeah. And shout out to him. He was successful in his Kickstarter. He took my money. Kickstarters, all these Kickstarters taking my money, man. I be trying to be like, listen, man, I can't do it. You can come on the show. I'll let you come on the show and promote your stuff, but I'll be broke, But we definitely looking forward to that. If I don't see all of you, have a happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy the time with family and friends as we make our way into the holiday season. If no one tells you, I love you and we appreciate you. And thank you for stopping for another episode of a Stoked podcast. Oh, if you came on tonight and you enjoyed the vibe, please come back tomorrow. Please come back next week or the week after. Please join the Stoked podcast Facebook page. Please stop by visuallystoked.com.
Follow us.
Follow us. Absolutely. We're on YouTube. You can talk to me on Facebook. I will argue with anybody. It happens.
I will hate on you for no reason.
All the time.
For fun. And you can tell me
everybody wants to argue with me. If you want to Facebook friend me, you can do that. I don't know why people want to argue, but okay, cool. That's what floats your boat. We can do it, I guess. But thank you so much. Please support come on back. And thank you for joining the Stoked Podcast, Creative Talk with Creative People. Y'all have a great weekend.